Hey guys, Super7 here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Thundercats Ultimates Pumyra, brought to us by the fine folks over at Super7, as well as my good buddy Evil Villain. Click the link in the description below and give him a follow on ye old Instagram. And while you're at it, let him know Overlord sent you. But as always, don't be a jerk. Nobody likes that jerk, right? That said, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Pumyra has to offer in terms of accessories before we, well, piss and moan like the rest of the internet about how tall the figure is. We'll get to that. So she's got a pair of grip hands, the wrong hinge for holding stuff. That's one of my major complaints. Gotta have that up and down hinge, man. That's how it should be done. That said, one thing she does come with that a lot of figures in this line don't come with, a pair of fists. So she can punch you in one eye and make it red like her vintage counterpart, and punch you in the other eye and make it also red like her vintage counterpart. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look at the LJN figure of this chick, and that is some good old-fashioned nightmare fuel, if I do say so myself. That said, she does come with an alternate head, not nearly as scary as her vintage counterpart, but I prefer the alt head, so I have that on her currently. There you go. You also get this crazy shuriken thing, which is made out of weird rubbery plastic that Mattel uses. They've been using it on Masterverse too. And same with this thing. I don't know what this material is. It feels like wax. Almost. It's very odd. Very odd indeed. But she's got these things. As well as her whip. Also made out of this weird waxy stuff. At least I think this is a whip. And not some kind of, I don't know, kinky sexcapade item. That said, one thing to note. This, like the Lion-O, Panthero, Mumra, and Jackalman from this line, is a carryover from the Mattel days. And in the Mattel days, her belt, you could remove it. Well, the Super7 one, you couldn't do that, at least not with a little bit of help from the handy-dandy hairdryer, which is what I did to mine. So if I bring her up close here and lift up this arm, I can unplug this piece just like you could on the old Mattel version, and plug it back on whenever I want. So I made the belt removable myself. You know, do that at your own risk, but it didn't take much to get that off. It's fairly simple. Fairly simple, just like I did with the Sword of Plundar that comes with Mumra the Ever-Living. I hit that with a little bit of heat, and I was able to work it off, or split it into two swords instead of just the one. That way I can have them actually hold them on my shelf. But as far as this figure goes, she's not bad. I dig it. I think Chitara is way better, but that goes without standing. She's on a brand new body buck, whereas this one is on a pinless version of an old body buck that is, quite frankly, out of scale with the rest of the team. That said, if they make another Pumyra, I doubt I'm gonna get it. You know, I got this one. This one's fine. I didn't pay retail for it either, so you can't beat that either. But as far as her articulation goes, her head will rotate. I believe it's on a double ball peg, but it mostly just rotates. That's fine. Shoulders will go out to the side. Damn. Way past 90. Freaking Jada Street Fighters that can't even do that. Her arms can rotate all the way around. Bicep swivel. Single elbow. That does get a little rotation out of it, but not a ton. And then she's got a swivel in the wrist with a hinge. Nothing too egregious there, though. Putting her arms up, she does have windmill action. Whee! Her diaphragm joint does rotate. It's not the tightest thing in the world, but it's not the loosest thing either. But I would have preferred if that was a little tighter, maybe had some detents in it. But it's not floppy loot. Like, I'm shaking her around. She's not moving. She got a waist twist. Her hips can kick out. This one a little farther. You can see that this isn't even glued in, but it's staying in place. She can kick out quite a bit on that side as opposed to this side. I don't think she can kick out as far. Never mind, I'm full of shiitake mushrooms. So she can kick out just fine. Forward and back's a little hindered, but not too bad. She's got a thigh cut. Single knee. Now, be careful with these knees, because they are tighter than a motherfucker. And you just gotta kind of work them. Slow and steady wins the race, folks. That's why we don't break Lionos on this channel. All you thunder thumbs with that target one. There you go. There is the single knee getting 90-degree bend out of it. Not too shabby. She does have a boot swivel for the most part, but it doesn't get a lot of range until you bend the knee. Once you bend it, you can get more out of that. And then as far as her feet go, they can move forward and back and rock her. She does have peg holes at the bottom of her feet if you want to throw her on a stand. So, good figure. I dig it. I think it's fine. Is it perfect? No, but I don't mind her. I think she's good. But I would not be surprised if we see another one at some point in the future. But we'll just have to wait and see what the fine folks over at Super7 have in store for this line, because I haven't heard much of crap on it, so that's a little worrisome. It's not every day you can just go online and buy a Rankin Bass character for a reasonable price, like 30 to 50 bucks. You want to know why I say that? Go and look up the Christmas stuff. You'd be surprised. So that being said, it is time now that we move right along. Take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Pumyra alongside a couple other carryovers from ye old Mattel days. We have both Panthro and Liono, Lord of the Thundercats. And while she's not as tall as the Mattel version of herself, I mean, I'm not sure what else you're supposed to call that, she is too tall in comparison to Liono. Panthro, he's supposed to be short, so obviously it makes sense for her to be taller than he is, but I think she is still too tall compared to Liono. But in all honesty, that doesn't really bother me too much. So getting them out of here. So we can bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibolith. As well as the infamous 11 Spawn. She is about neck and neck with good old Al Simmons here. So yeah, I guess that's proof in the pudding that she is in fact too tall. But if I'm not mistaken, the Mattel one was even taller than this. So I guess Super7 tried. Maybe they'll try again. I don't know. But at any rate, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and the scaling issue notwithstanding, I think good old Pumyra here is a fine addition to the Thundercats Ultimates line brought to us by the fine folks over at Super7, because really, my only gripe with this figure is the fact that Super7 don't know how to articulation, and the diaphragm joint on this figure is practically useless. I mean, we got the waist swivel. Did we really need that too? Nah, not really, especially since it's not as tight as I would like it to be. However, if they are to update this character at some point in the near to distant future, I'm most likely going to pass and save my money for something else, because I'm okay with this. Pumyra is not a character I care enough about to warrant having more than one in my collection, personally. So, With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, catch you guys later.